Hey guys, I am so excited that you're on this V20 journey with us. I want to make sure that you understand exactly what we're going to be covering and in what sequence and why, so that you have an idea of where we're going and where we are now. So here's what we're doing, the V20 journey. We start with a concept of what is spiritual formation. In Matthew 28, verse 20, is how we get our name, V20 Journey. Jesus commands his followers to help other people come into alignment with everything that he has commanded. That's like a pretty tall order, okay? But that's what we talk about with spiritual formation. What does it mean to have our whole lives turn toward Jesus and try to align? We're going to be making mistakes and gosh, we're a mess. But what if we each day by day grow toward what Jesus has commanded and who we are, and it becomes natural to us. That's the idea of our first session, spiritual formation. The second session is about how are we wired. If you want to take something that's not exactly as it should be and move it toward health, it's always good to understand what's going on with that. How is it constructed, right? We need to know how something is put together if we're going to make it something that's different and allow the Spirit to change us. That's the second session. The third session is really about spiritual practices. Why do we do them? What are the disciplines? Why would we choose to do them or not choose to do them? In the fourth session, we'll talk about our mind and our feelings, and we're going to start there about how do you get your mind and what you allow to influence you actually come into line with the kingdom of God rather than lead you on a different path. We'll do the same thing with our physical bodies. It actually really impacts like our spiritual formation, our physical bodies. We'll talk about that as well as community, who we surround ourselves with and who we don't, and how that impacts things. In our seventh session, we'll talk about tying it all together. What is a soul? How does that impact all this? And how does that kind of take all the pieces and tie that into one? In our second to last session, we'll talk about spiritual gifts. God has given you a gift. We want to make sure that as we launch out of this V20 journey toward the end that you know what that is or what those are. And then the last thing is called the rule of life. It's just kind of a funny term. The old kind of spiritual giants used to call kind of their plan for how they would follow Jesus and allow the Spirit to change them. They would call that a rule of life. Essentially, it's a plan of like, how will I do that? It's not going to happen, just by accident. What's my strategy and plan for actually moving into that? We're going to talk about that and review that in our last time together. So guys, I can't wait. I'm glad you're on the journey with us, and it's going to be a really great time. So thank you for having the courage to sign up and go for it.